The Speed Experience.
Hello and welcome to Wind Tunnel on Speed, Nascar Media Group series alongside Flying Fortress, and we got a lot to talk about. Not only is like Speed back with Will Buxton and Kevin Harvick, but of course we got the fan-made Speed channel, and we got a lot to say about the motorsport world because it's always busy. It never stops, and it never will, because this is just what motorsports is all about. And it'll be really exciting, you know. I'm excited to be back here. I'm excited that Wind Tunnel is back, and we got a lot of motorsport to talk about. Yeah, there really is a lot of motorsport to speak about, and you know, you've seen us commentating a lot with Monster Jam and a lot of NASCAR highlights as well, but one of the main things that you do not know is that it's fairly interesting to, at the very least, watch any kind of like motorsport race that you would ever see, because for us, we talk motorsports because it is what we love. We love motorsports, so we talk motorsports. It's just what we love, you know. I'm a Scott McLaughlin fan, and so I root for Scott McLaughlin because I love Scott McLaughlin. Yeah, open wheel racing is very fun. And speaking of open wheel racing, let's talk Formula One. Well, it was pretty excited to come back to Formula One, and yes, the wild moment from George Russell hammering right into his Williams comrade Alex Albon. Russell, being a former Williams driver, slammed right into his old comrade Alexander Albon. It was a very tough day for day one of pre-season testing at Bahrain. The active aero will be shown for the first time in 2026. Cadillac and 7 Trackhouse Racing being one of the fastest teams out there, but it will end up being Lando Norris in the time of the day in day number 1, ahead of Hajar Alonso and Ollie Behrman. Then came day number 2, and boy, things get pretty wild. There were some really crazy incidents, especially on the exit of the pit lane, and yes, Valtteri Bottas and many other drivers have problems at the beginning of our turn number 1, but none like Valtteri. He had so many problems, you wouldn't even know what happened next. The Williams went upside down at Carlos Sainz, but Junebug, last year's champion, went up getting the fastest time in probably the best way possible. And then there was another big incident, and yes, Ollie Behrman, Franco Colapinto, or Pierre Gasly slamming into each other, but Lewis Hamilton will put up the fastest time in day number 3. Here is our call. Lewis Hamilton is about to come across and put up a very fast time. Is it going to be a very fast pole position? Yes, it is. Incredible. Truly, you will never hear throttle rhythm quite like Sir Hamilton. And that was all 3 days of F1 preseason testing. And in 2 weeks' time, after this week with IndyCar, NASCAR, a little bit of Monster Jam, and everything else, F1 will be back and we'll show you highlights on Speed and on the NASCAR Energy Cup Series channels. So make sure you follow us on our socials and everything else in between. But I gotta say, Fortress, which team are you expecting the most to dominate and win throughout the entire Formula One season? Well, I mean, I was loving Ben Junebug all of last year. An American Formula One rookie who came out of the Roblox world, and he joined the monoposto in the F1, in the Formula One world. And he's also a bit of a NASCAR driver. He competed a little bit in the Energy Cup Series a little bit last year. He won Watkins Glen during the playoff weekend, which now that NASCAR is coming back to the chase format, I gotta admit I'm pretty excited for the chase format to come back. And this is a hot take. I was definitely not a huge fan of the chase format at first, but looking back at the playoffs and coming back to the chase format, it's actually a bit more fair. I mean, if NASCAR still wants a postseason, then bringing back the chase was the only logical option because I'm not sure if you can improve the playoffs. Yeah, many fans they come up with so many different improvements for the playoffs, but there was really no other option. Just go with the chase and everything else in between. So instead of all of that playoff crap, it was definitely a really good idea to get out of the NASCAR playoff format because it offered no legitimacy and it was just absolutely terrible. So great job to NASCAR for bringing back the chase. And NASCAR, in my opinion, is definitely 85% back. All we gotta do now is make a little bit more improvements to the next gen car. Maybe not have too many street courses. I mean, NASCAR, I don't get why fans hate street courses for all different types of motorsports. Me personally, I enjoy street courses. I admit, not all of them are perfect, but in some ways, they actually are pretty fun. Like the Las Vegas Grand Prix, I know a lot of fans have been clowning that track, but I think it's somewhat of a fun track. I don't see F1 staying there until like 2028 at least. But I still think Las Vegas is a pretty fun track. Miami is also another really fun track. But if they want to come to Florida, then I guess they can probably come to Homestead because Formula E raced at Homestead. A lot of people say, why not Daytona? Listen, I would love to see F1 come to Daytona without question. But due to safety concerns and everything else, Formula 1 is a little too fast. So that's probably not going to happen. Speaking of Daytona, let's talk about NASCAR. That's the NASCAR Community Cup Series and their Daytona 500. Except it's not called the Daytona 500, but either way, the NASCAR Community Cup Series, the stop motion series, is back. And yes, we'll be covering almost every single stop motion content creator here on Wind Tunnel on Speed. Yeah, especially because of Stream Car. We'll cover Stream Car with Gary Owen and many others. And yeah, shout out to Timothy Brown. He commented on my post that I hyped. So yeah, big shout out to him. Congratulations, you made it into Speed. And now, let's talk NASCAR. As there was a big command to start engines, let's listen to it.
All right. Gentlemen, start your engine! Thank you, Mr. McConaughey. The cars are rolling off pit road. Joey Logano is going to lead them down through the pace laps here at Daytona. The honorary pace car this time around is the 2024 NASCAR 75th anniversary promo car. There is next.
With that, the green flag was out, and there it was. Joey Logano leading the field, Chase Briscoe alongside him, and many racers, they steamed down towards turn number 1, and everybody was standing, and they were getting off their seats because, of course, it is Daytona. You always want to add this track to your bucket list. All without question, Chase Briscoe out in front there, and you can just see taking the lead already. And leading lap 1, I would imagine there'd be some bonus points winning a lap in a points race. But it would end up being Joey Logano ended up taking the win in stage number 1. So big win for Team Penske, taking the stage win. And then on lap number 14, big accident right there. Many energy drinks and everything else in between. Shane Van Gisbergen, Riley Herbst, and Elio Castro Neves involved in a major accident, and this will be a tough break for sure for SVG. I always loved SVG, ever since I saw him because in the IRL NASCAR series, he won the Chicago Street Course, and ever since then, I've been interested. I wanted to be like, where did he come from? I started watching him via Supercars, and then after that, his regular career in NASCAR, after his full-time career, it's just been uphill, a little bit downhill, but hey, that's just NASCAR. So yeah, it's a tough break for SVG. Carson Osvar, by the way, went up taking the stage to win, and then the big one happened at Daytona.
big block here. Around goes the 62. Into Ryan Priest. There goes Gilliland. There goes Jones. Ty Dillon up the racetrack. Hard on the outside wall. They're sliding back down into more cars. There's Chase Briscoe and Ty Gibbs, two of the fastest cars in the race. And that is the huge one at Daytona, Timmy.
At least half the field is piled in. Chase Briscoe is involved in it. Your outside front row sitter. And the huge one strikes after a huge bad block by Anthony Alfredo and takes out everybody.
A very unfortunate incident that was, and yes, you can just see there are so many cars involved, a major incident and a big hit for the Wednesdays, the number 62 car, and you can see right there the number 10 slamming hard in every single car. There you can see Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs, I think Ryan Priest, Todd Gilliland, just everyone involved in a major incident. You can see the 41 car in there. There's Cody Ware. Just a very, very bad incident. And then we'll move on after that, though. You can see Connor Zillich trying to make a move. They were sliding, bamming into each other with 4 laps to go. You can see it is desperation time, but unfortunately, desperation caught Ryan Blaney. As you can see, the old number 12 car went around for a spin and a slide. He got back on track, or at least down towards pit road, but you can just see it was very much a break for him. It will not be another Daytona 500 for Ryan Blaney, or at least one Daytona 500 for Ryan Blaney. But coming to the final lap, the call was made from the NASCAR Community Cup Series team. So let us have a listen to it here on Speed.
Yeah, see how that outside lane can pull up right now. Big block, Bowman onto Zane Smith. Contact there. He's stuck 4 wide in the middle. Here comes Carson Hocevar on the top of the racetrack. Brad Keselowski leads them down halfway down the back straightaway now.
Keselowski's still out front. Oh, and Stenhouse is sideways. There's 2 corners to go here in Daytona. Smith looking for a run. Keselowski blocks up to the top side. Now they go down low. They crash. A huge crash. And Kyle Busch is going to win the 2026 NASCAR Daytona 500 in a huge crash there at the line. Unbelievable.
The field is gone.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh. Wow.
Zane Smith.
They got to get the safety crew out there right now.
Zane Smith with a huge crash there. There is a tire that has hit the other side up into the grandstands almost.
Wow, you want to talk about a tough break? That was a very bad break. You can see Brad Keselowski and Zane Smith, a pile of debris all over the track. You can just see that is just the second big one of Daytona. Now, luckily, Zane Smith and everyone else in the catchments were okay. Only 2 were injured in the grandstands, but they were relatively minor injuries. Other than that, everybody else was okay, and it was very, very unfortunate to say the least for at least Zane Smith in a 38 car. You can just tell it was not really Zane's day. And unfortunately, Brad K is just not going to win a Daytona 500, and he has to wait once again to win a Daytona 500, and that Brad Keselowski, unfortunately, yeah, he's going to have to wait a long time, or at least until next year to win the Daytona 500. Look at the catch fence. Oh my. You got to feel for Zane Smith and everyone else in the catch fence. You can just see it. Watch this. Ooh, the rear of that thing is gone. It is gone. You really gotta feel for him and the people in the catch fence. That is not a pretty sight. But of course, it is Daytona. It is no stranger to accidents like this. In fact, some fans will expect accidents like this. So, definitely a tough break to say the least. But, I mean, good night. That is a terrible accident. But either way, I'm glad to hear that everyone else was okay. Again, only minor injuries for the 2 people in the grandstands. Zane Smith will probably be able to race next weekend. But yeah, that is just pretty much disappointing for Zane Smith. Well, either way, Kyle Busch, he may not be an IRL Daytona 500 champion, but he is for NASCAR back-to-back 2025 and 2026. He is the NASCAR Community Cup Series Daytona 500 champion with 53 points in the chase for the Cup. Host of our 7th after winning Stage 1. And the fans, they loved it. It was an excellent Daytona 500 to say the least. You can see right there the other finishing results for the rest of the drivers. Here's the one that surprised me the most. Ryan Blaney in 15th, despite that spin he had. That was really shocking. And Joey Logano from the stage win to 30th at a big DNF. That's really disappointing. Tough break as well for Connor Zillage. Not really the finish he wanted on his debut for his full-time debut for Trackhouse. SVG and Elio, tough break with them as well. Chase Briscoe, Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs, just a lot of big factor names that were involved in the big one at Daytona, and that was the 2026 NASCAR Community Cup Series Daytona race. Flying Fortress, he's gone downstairs, but unfortunately, that was just not a really good incident for St. Smith. Now, I have to say this. It may not be as long as we think for us NASCAR fans to see either Brad Keselowski or Kyle Busch win the Daytona 500 in real life. And hopefully they do, because if I'm not mistaken, they got a few years left in their contract. So they got to step up their game if they want to win Daytona. And that is what most race teams require these days, especially after the whole lawsuit thing. And as a longtime motorsport fan, a longtime esports driver, I gotta say, it's gotta be absolutely disappointing that for Brad, he's been through a lot over the years, and it's gotta be absolutely disappointing to lose Daytona again. You just know it's going to be like a major tough break. It's going to be a thorn in his side once again, and it's just not all what he wanted. So you know for sure it's going to be like a tough break for him. So a bit of a bad break for Brad. Really hope everything goes well for him. And as for Zane Smith, definitely a bad crash. I hope that he's okay, but you just gotta feel for him. It's not at all what anyone would have wanted out of that whole Daytona fiasco. So hopefully everybody is okay. And actually everyone is okay. But again, those two people that were involved in the accident, they had some injuries. They were taken to local hospital. They will be released after the end of this episode of Wind Tunnel. And it'll be very interesting to see if they'll come back for the next race, which, if I'm not mistaken, will be Atlanta for the NASCAR Community Cup Series. So it'll be interesting to see, because we will react to that once again for our next episode next week here on Wind Tunnel on Speed. But other than that, it'll be very disappointing. It'll be a rough ride back home and back to the RFK shop for sure for Brad K. And it'll be a rough ride back to the Front Row Motorsports shop for Zane Smith, because again, you got to feel for him. It's definitely such a bad break, and it's not what he would have wanted at all. So again, very disappointing for Zane Smith, and it is not what he wanted. But this is Daytona. The things that you do not want will happen, even if you really don't want it to happen. Because, well, that's just NASCAR, and that is Daytona. The unpredictable can happen. You may not want it to happen, but the inevitable is going to happen either way. And unfortunately, that came at the cost of Zane Smith and Brad Keselowski. You really got to feel for those guys. It's a really bad break for them. But either way, you know, so all the NASCAR fans, all the Brad Keselowski fans, I got to say, it's just been absolutely disappointing to say the least for him. But either way, it's just absolutely unreal for him. But you know, it's a major tough break. So you got to feel for Brad. He definitely wanted to get this win under control, but either way, it's just absolutely lackluster and disappointing. But either way, it's probably going to be. They're probably going to bounce back, because I got a feeling that sooner or later RFK, they're going to bounce back, and they're probably going to win Atlanta, hopefully. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping for them to win Atlanta for the NASCAR Community Cup Series. But if I were to describe the NASCAR Community Cup Series today, it's definitely really fun. And I'm glad that it too has brought up the chase format, because everybody seems to be on board with this, with the new chase format. Well, not necessarily the new chase format. The only thing that's pretty much new to the chase format is that, like the playoffs, 16 drivers can now automatically put themselves in. And in my personal opinion, I can agree with the fans this one. 16 is a little bit too big, so you gotta shorten most of the stuff out. But either way, at least we can say the playoff format is no more. But now, enough about NASCAR. Let's talk about IndyCar. Let's talk IndyCar, because I'm pretty excited for this new season. A lot of fans have been absolutely excited for 2026, and I can definitely say I'm from the two. We got David Malukas in number 12. He's going on to Team Penske, and comes St. Petersburg, which, by the way, St. Petersburg will not only hold an IndyCar race, it'll hold a truck series race as well, for NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, so look out for that. But IndyCar on Fox has been pretty fun, to say the least. And coming to the first race at St. Pete, you just knew it was going to be pretty insane. Because, I mean, just from the first lap in the first race alone, you can see here Will Power and making contact with the McLaren. But either way, speaking of Power, it'll be interesting to see how he will adapt to the Andretti ride, which, with him now being gone from his Penske days, and there's a guy they're all are going to have to beat, especially for this year, and his name is Alex Palou. These guys, they want to beat him, and they all want to stop him, because he's been dominating the entire season. He dominated all of 2025, basically. He won the Indy 500 for the first time, which, of course, is nothing to scoff at, but of course, fans, they don't like dominance all that much. Most of the motorsport fans, not a huge fan of dominance. Sometimes I can definitely occur to that, because when I saw Max Verstappen dominate F1 for a long while, especially in 2023, yeah, I got sick of it for a little bit. But you're gonna see dominance in motorsports. You know that's never gonna stop. You will see dominance in motorsports. You may not like it, but you're gonna see it. Again, it's like Daytona. But a lot of fans have been pretty hyped up for 2026 for the IndyCar season, and I managed to find out about this one content creator who is definitely pretty hyped up for the IndyCar season. Now, unfortunately, there is one race in Washington, D.C. that not a lot of fans are hyped up about, and some fans are calling IndyCar the new kart, which, I mean, I'm not sure why fans, they hate on kart a lot, because kart seems like a really fun series. I mean, yes, street courses can be pretty. I mean, the Washington street course, in my opinion, it's not looking too good. I'm not really huge on board with the idea. At first, I was like, why do they always say IndyCar so much? I mean, at least Liberty Media doesn't have the rights to IndyCar like Formula One, and now as of this episode, MotoGP, because they're going away from one of their races, which fans loved, in place of Adelaide. And I'm not going to scoff Adelaide. It's a really fun track for V8 supercars, but for MotoGP, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. So at least we can say IndyCar is not bought out by Liberty Media, and hopefully no other motorsport gets bought by Liberty Media, because a lot of fans are not happy with Liberty Media, and me personally, I'm not really a huge fan of Liberty Media either. I mean, I love Drive to Survive. It's a really fun series, but as of recently, things have been a little bit downhill for Formula One, especially with fans complaining about the 2026 Formula One season. And to be honest, I'm not completely a hater of the new season. I'm actually pretty hyped up and on board with it, at least for some extent. Like, we gotta take the W's where we can take the W's. We gotta take the victory where we can find the victory. It's simple as that. But of course, you're gonna have some fans complaining about this, but me personally, yeah, I have some cons with the new 26 F1 season, and yeah, I will have the cons for sure about the Washington race or IndyCar. But yeah, you can't just flat out hate on it and say, oh, well, it's the entire season going to be over one race. Like, how ignorant do you have to be to say that? And speaking of which, one content creator, we were able to take a look at this.
Guess what, folks? The 2026 IndyCar season is around the corner. It is almost here. Happy almost race week, everybody. And guess what? I'm really excited about the upcoming season for so many reasons. But in this particular video, I'm going to be talking about this one reason. So with that being said, let's begin. I'm feeling confident that this will be the best and amazing and perhaps maybe the greatest IndyCar season beginner of all time. Because the month of March, we have 4 out of 5 IndyCar race weeks to kick off the season. And the momentum for the season will be great for this reason, because we got Fox marketing the hell out of the sport. Not only that, they partially own the sport. Hopefully it goes well. And God, man, I'm really excited about this because the way Fox does marketing and advertising, the way they did it for IndyCar last year, it really helped the sport for the better. It grew the sport as well. So whenever Fox continues to have that momentum with these commercials and marketings, when we have 4 IndyCar races in March, that's going to help. The season opener, St. Petersburg. We're going to have a lot of people watching.
Huge shout out to Ian Talks Racing. Go ahead and subscribe to him. He's definitely been a really awesome content creator. But I'm on board with that. Multiple races in March is what we've been wanting. Now I'm not really totally agreeing with the whole Arlington thing. I mean, yes, I do think Arlington it's not going to be the best street course we've had in recent years for IndyCar. But again, like I've been saying, not all street courses deserve the hate. Because, I mean, they've been doing this for, many years now? Not just IndyCar, multiple motorsports. I mean, we have street racing all the time with regular cars, like the street gangster cars. But for IndyCar, I can understand why fans are not completely on board with the whole Arlington and Washington, D.C. thing. But again, it's just we got to take the W's where we can find the W's, and we just got to come up with a compromise, because I'm getting tired of fans expecting perfection from every single motorsport in the world. You're not going to find that, because they're run by humans. Humans are imperfect. So you can't just expect every single motorsport to be perfect when it's run by humans. They're going to make some mistakes. We may think it's perfect, but there are some mistakes, and we say, oh, okay, so the motorsport's not perfect, so I shouldn't watch it. No. If the fans are still loving it, and you can see there are like millions to thousands of fans in the grandstand and watching on television, then stick around with it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with criticism, of course. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But being a hater, being a crybaby, like, oh, F1 should bring back V10 engines. Look, I love the V10 engines, don't get me wrong. But the era is over. I don't want to hear the crybabies about the Gen 4 car. That era is gone too. Deal with it. But don't get me wrong. That era is also phenomenal, and it always will be one of the best eras of NASCAR. Like, look, guys, we got to come up with a compromise, because everything else has been absolutely insane. But we'll get back to hot takes in a minute, because it is time to look at the official highlights. And of course, credits to V8 Supercar for the footage. But it's time for part number 1. You're going to see this in part 2 next week with more V8 Supercar action. And so it's time for race number 1 of V8 Supercars. And take a look. A lot of these V8 Supercars are very fast and everything else in between. Of course, this is speed. You know we're going to see fast racing and fast cars. And of course, V8 Supercars is no exception. And of course, the Blind Fortress mentioned that his favorite all-time driver is Scott McLaughlin racing V8 Supercars before his transition to IndyCar. But you can just see, we're back in the speed action. There is a Red Bull guiding the pits. And that's a new Red Bull Ford. And the Mustang guiding the pits as well. And the Molly Mustang. But one of the main favorites to win was Rock Feeney or maybe even Chaz Miser. in an all-new Toyota. Yes, Toyota is now officially V8 Supercars, and V8 Supercars is basically going NASCAR. We got Toyota, Ford, and Chevy. And look at this move down to the inside of Cam Waters in the Mustang and Supercar, but Brock Feeney coming across the line to take the win in race number 1 of V8 Supercars. So shout out and big congratulations to Brock Feeney in the V8 Supercar Red Bull car. Really great win for him. So to all of the V8 Supercar fans, I want to say that V8 Supercar has been really fun as of recently, and this has been absolutely insane to think about just how wild the V8 Supercars has become, because Brock Feeney, Chaz Mostert, Shane Van Gisbergen, Scott McLaughlin, Cam Waters, you bring up all those names together in V8 Supercars and you get such an incredible and a wild field of V8 Supercar racers. I mean, these guys are one of the best V8 Supercar racers of all time, and I've just been completely interested in V8 Supercars, and it's been really insane to think about how interesting V8 Supercars has become. Just one simple touring car league in Australia, and it's one of the most popular Australian races or motorsport series in the world. So I gotta give a ton of respect to V8 Supercars and to Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane, you are an absolute incredible racer. I don't care what anybody says. They really just, they don't like seeing like new drivers from different countries, and that's a shame. I feel like, at least with the fan base of NASCAR. But for Shane Van Gisbergen, to Scott McLaughlin, and to all of the drivers of V8 Supercars or transitioning to other sport, like McLaughlin, he's with IndyCar right now after his V8 Supercar days. So big credits to him. And to SVG, I want to say that you are an absolute incredible racer, and I hope that you can improve well on the ovals. I hope you can win one of these oval races. I'm very proud to have Van Gisbergen a part of this NASCAR community, because it's been absolutely incredible to see such a diverse driver like SVG here. But to Van Gisbergen, I hope that you have a really good time in NASCAR. I mean, to have a driver like SVG, he's such an incredible driver. I'm really hoping that he can continue his success from the road courses and the street courses to the ovals. And it's just really incredible to see SVG out here, and hopefully he can improve along the way, because a lot of fans are clowning him for being a new driver and he can only win on road courses. And I gotta say, that's not the fact. As a matter of fact, over in the NASCAR part, Sheldon Creed actually won a race.
Come on, Creed, give him a shove. He's gonna run. Oh, he turned him.
Oh my God!
What a save!
It doesn't matter. Sheldon Creed.
Unbelievable.
He finally wins.
Let's go. Thank you, Ross Chastain.
I have never been a bigger Ross Chastain fan.
I love Ross Chastain.
And let me tell you, I definitely can't be mad. I gotta give a whole lot of props to Sheldon Creed for such an incredible win. But I gotta say, it was definitely incredible, but I don't really know what would happen if the flip side of the coin happened and we saw Austin Hill take the win. Well, I think a lot of fans, they would have been really upset about that, because not a whole lot of fans are happy with Austin Hill winning every single super speedway race. And I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get why fans are clowning super speedway dominance when we had guys like Dale Jr. and all of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated dominate every single super speedway race that you would know or that you would see. We have Michael Waltrip, Dale Jr., maybe occasionally Steve Park, just anybody outside of the 8 and the 15 car, anyone else like the third driver of DEI. I don't get it. The NASCAR fan base has just absolutely become stupid at this point, at least to a certain extent. They're tired of seeing RCR dominates super speedways, and I don't get it. Like Richard Childress, one of the many OGs of NASCAR, and this is how they treat him. Now I get it, he has been getting a lot of clowning because Austin Hill has been pretty controversial as of recently, and Austin Dillon is not the best performer. But I don't think those guys should be the sole reason why he gets hated, because I don't know. I just feel like that some guys, they just hate a little too much. Like, the fan base just wants to find reason to hate, and either they make valid points. I will give them valid points. They do make valid points sometimes. But half of the time, I feel like they just be hating for the entirety of their lives, just because they're, like, crybaby fans. Like, the fact that I really hate crybaby fans of NASCAR, I mean, like, you don't want to know the half of it. They're never the best kind of fans, and they never will be. Yeah, those people, they don't really understand what it's like to be a part of the NASCAR fan base. They're just there to be there. Like, they're just there because they feel like that they can be there when they have no business there whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. And, coming back to the NASCAR side of things, on a more positive NASCAR side of things, I gotta say, it's been absolutely incredible to see the amount of diversity that we got here. But, yeah, there are some drivers that need to step up their game a little bit. Especially a fellow driver like Daniel Suarez. There are some guys that really need to step up their game. We got a whole lot of guys that they want to, like, get back on track. They want to perform better with the teams. Which driver do you think they're on the level or drowning a little bit under the water right now? Those guys, I want to say definitely Daniel Suarez. I can feel that. Kyle Busch. Ooh, yeah, definitely Kyle Busch. Well, other than that, we also got this. If we take a look right here, this was here from Monster Jam. You may know this guy. It's Ryan Vargas, longtime NASCAR driver. He got behind the wheel of a Monster Jam truck. And for the first time in 2026, he got behind the wheel of El Toro Loco. And hey, the old body is back. Everybody knows the new body of El Toro Loco. And hey, it's El Toro's 25th anniversary. And it may not be a new color scheme, but it was definitely incredible. And I'm really proud to see Ryan Vargas behind the wheel of a Monster Jam truck. It's absolutely incredible. And yes, we do cover Monster Jam a lot here on Speed. And I do mean there's a lot of Monster Jam to cover on Speed. There's a primary Earth logo body driven by Jamie Gardner of Overboard Motorsport. Absolutely incredible to see that body here. And there is the really circuit. A lot of fans, they're not a huge fan of modern day Monster Jam. They say it's definitely not like old school Monster Jam where you had crush cars, buses, and everything else. And I have to say, yeah, I can somewhat agree. I can definitely agree that like I don't hate modern day Monster Jam. I still am a huge Monster Jam fan. I still love Monster Jam. I love covering Monster Jam here on Speed. But I gotta say, the modern day tracks, they are pretty bland. Like, they are bland as I don't know what. They might be as bland as the Audi F1 livery. And yes, I cannot stand that livery. That livery is bland as cereal without milk. And you know what, but it's just absolutely weird, to see Monster Jam cleanses. Like, we got NASCAR that's coming back to its roots. We still got work to do with F1 and IndyCar and somewhat. But yeah, I also think MotoGP, they can probably leave Formula E alone. Formula E somewhat seems pretty fine. I mean, they gotta stop with the whole celebrities nonsense. Like, I get that they're trying to like appeal to us because I don't really get what it is in motorsports and celebrities. Like, I understand what they're trying to do, but we're just here to see the fast cars. We're here to see cars like go fast around any type of track, a street course, an oval, a road course, even a daggum dirt track that you would see with supercross bikes. So it's definitely pretty interesting to say the least. But it's definitely really awkward, to like often see that with a lot of motorsport teams, and I just don't get it sometimes. Like, it's just absolutely weird to see a whole lot of motorsport teams. They They want to see like a whole lot of celebrities saying that they're going to pay them big money so that they don't go bankrupt. When, to be honest, I'm not so sure about that. But over on the old entire motorsports side of things, we got the Craftsman Truck Series, and I've been looking forward to getting to this. We got the Dodge Ram truck. Now, this I'm looking forward to cover. It's the Craftsman Truck Series, and they're getting ready for the first year in 2026 with the Dodge Ram truck. And I gotta say, I'm really hyped up for this. The Dodge Ram coming back to NASCAR, absolutely exciting. I'm really hoping that they can win. And all throughout the Craftsman Truck Series, which of course we have a lot of Craftsman Truck Series races here on Speed. Like, you're gonna see a whole lot of highlights and everything from the third race of the season, and just everything else in between. Like, the Truck Series is gonna be absolutely awesome. At least for the Dodge camp. Like, it's absolutely incredible to see Dodge Ram right here, Colleague Racing. We got Tony Stewart, he came back for one truck race. Man, just absolutely incredible, and the whole entire Ram program, I recently started watching their TV series, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I'm really loving it. And so, yeah, it'll be fun to see Colleague. They're here for Ram, and nothing stops with Ram. Definitely need Mini Tyrell and many others. Like, there it is, race with a seat, and I'm definitely excited for that. We got the Raminator from Monster Trucks, and it'll be absolutely incredible. I'm really excited to see the whole entire Dodge camp, and it's really cool to see Dodge come back to NASCAR. Even if it's just with a truck series and it's Ram, it's absolutely exciting. Really incredible. So happy to see Dodge come back to the truck series. Dodge has been absolutely cooking as of recently with their new Dodge Ram truck. Really hoping we can see the Dodge Ram team take a win. Definitely, that would be very exciting to see the whole entire Dodge Ram team take home a massive victory, and it'd be absolutely incredible. I mean, I can't put that otherwise. Yeah, you couldn't play otherwise when it comes to the Dodge Ram. It's absolutely incredible to see Dodge come back to NASCAR. Absolutely unbelievable. Exactly. It's really incredible because, Dodge, they've been actually interesting to say the least. The NASCAR team, it's looking really good so far. I am impressed they brought back Tony Stewart for that one truck Daytona race, IRL, and it's absolutely incredible. It's definitely really awesome to see the entire Dodge camp, come back to the truck series. It's really nice, and hold our Ram team as well. So the Dodge Ram, they're ready for a whole new year for the truck series, and I'm hyped up for it. I'm ready to see Dodge Ram take a win. Hopefully in the next year or so they can take it all the way to a championship, which would be absolutely incredible. I cannot tell you how much I want to see Dodge Ram win a truck series championship, and then move up all the way to maybe the O'Reilly series, and then to the Cup series. I think that would be absolutely incredible. I think that would be absolutely unbelievable. I would love to see that. Yeah, and I'll tell you why I'm starting to like the whole entire Dodge camp as well. They are definitely becoming probably the number one most popular team in the Craftsman Truck Series, especially with a partnership with Colleague Racing, because Colleague was very popular during its mid-year, I want to say, when they ran part-time in the Cup Series with AJ Allmendinger and many other Cup guys in the Cup Series. They were more popular with their O'Reilly Autosport team, their O'Reilly Series team, where they would be very competitive in the super speedways. You watch any old school NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Series race from a super speedway, especially Daytona, Talladega, you name it. You would see them dominate a whole lot with Ross Chastain, Justin Haley, AJ Allmendinger, you name it. That would be absolutely incredible. So really excited for the Dodge Ram team. I'm hoping that they can definitely win sometime. Take a look, and now we're going to take a look, take a little listen right here. There is Arthur Lindblad in the D car taking a good ride out there on track for its private test. So, come next week, we'll cover more Formula One. And we also cover a whole lot more MotoGP, because MotoGP is back this weekend. So tune in this weekend to watch the MotoGP Grand Prix. I'm really excited to see them awesome bikes out there. Absolutely. Really excited to see the whole entire Trackhouse team, because if you don't remember, Trackhouse, they have a MotoGP team, so I'm really excited to see the Trackhouse Motorsports GP, their MotoGP team. Trackhouse, they actually partnered with EN7 Racing, the same team with the NASCAR 25 trilogy, and the NASCAR, not NASCAR, the Formula One team with their new partnership with Andretti Cadillac and General Motorsports. It's really awesome. It's just incredible to see the whole entire biking team out there. We got Mark Marquez and Alex Marquez. Just flat out exciting. I'm really excited for MotoGP. It's an all new year for MotoGP. So really pumped up, really excited for MotoGP. And I'll tell you why I'm really excited for MotoGP this year. It is probably going to be really interesting, because now I think they've been bought out by Liberty Media, or they just got started. But during the beginning years of Liberty Media and Formula One, I will say it actually started off pretty well, in my opinion. Like, the new theme song is probably the best way to start off your new contract. Yeah, I can agree. The opening years with Liberty Media and Formula One have been fairly interesting. It's not perfect, of course, and it has started a little bit of a rough ride for Formula One with their new Formula One cars, but hey, I'm still pumped up for it. Exactly, fans, they should be at least somewhat pumped up. Like, F1 fans have not been so happy as of recently with the new F1 car. They think it's going to be terrible for passing, and it's been kind of shown in preseason testing. But more likely or not, I think the racing will improve. We gotta wait. Like, I'm tired of F1 fans, and most racing fans are like, F1 fans are way more toxic than the other fan base of motorsport. They're like, it's more toxic than NASCAR fans, V8 Supercar fans. Like, NASCAR fans, they're really good fans, but F1 fans will just say, wow, you call that an awesome series? That series is awful. And we'll look at him like, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Because all they'll ever watch is Formula One, and they think it's all great. And even if Formula One is great, and NASCAR is it's not as great as Formula One, that shouldn't be a dadgummit excuse. You can't just say that one motorsport is just because it's greater than NASCAR doesn't mean it actually should be greater than NASCAR. I mean, I'm not saying Formula One shouldn't be great. Absolutely not. F1 should be great no matter what. But I think that the fans, they're being a little too, like, I don't know how to put it, but them saying that they should bring back the V10 to, like, the V8 engines, like, or maybe the V12 engines, like, I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool to bring them back. Like, I'm not saying that wouldn't be a great idea. I think that would be awesome. But I feel like that era has passed. That era is over. It's gone. I'm not saying they'll probably will never bring them back. Who knows? Maybe one day they will. But as of now, as of today, they're not going to bring them back anytime soon. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but we're going to have to deal with it. Deal with it. It's over. And like, again, allowing it to come back will be a great idea. It will be cool, don't get me wrong, but it's over. It has come to pass. It has happened, and now it is gone. It's come to pass, and it is over. Like, I'm sorry, but it's over. Yeah, it has. It is. And yeah, you're right. It's definitely not a great idea for the fans to be like absolutely complaining to the point where you think, are you okay as a Formula One fan? Because the fact that you really want just the V10s, I mean, some fans, they just want the engines back. They don't want nothing else back. They just want the engines back. Yeah, that's definitely not a good idea either. If F1 does want to bring back the V12s, at least they can bring back some of the other classic tracks, because there are some tracks they went to in 2020 during like the COVID years that they would bring back. Yeah, we had Mugello, Turkey, Imola, which actually stayed a whole lot longer. And yeah, and we even had the Nürburgring that hosted the 24 hours of Nürburgring with the GT cars. Yeah, Nürburgring is definitely a really good track. And Hockenheim is still hosting DTM races, so yeah, we definitely got to bring back some more tracks. Like, I would love to see the DTM and Formula One have a double header together. I think that'd be really awesome. Now back to the NASCAR side of things, to close things off, it would definitely be really cool for all this. Oh yeah, NASCAR is definitely gonna have a lot of fun. Now to finish things off, it's time for a Monster Jam Crash Madness moment of the day. Tony Farrell and Blue Thunder with the end over end during World Finals 8, body ripping apart. Rest in peace, Tony Farrell. But what an incredible moment of a Crash Madness for the Bill Porter Blue Thunder. Absolutely unbelievable. And it's unreal to say the least. When the Billboard Tough Blue Thunder rolls over, something's about to go down. And just like how this episode went down here with Wind Tunnel on speed. And hey, this is the closing part of this episode. I gotta tell you, what a return to Wind Tunnel. Speed is back, Wind Tunnel's back. Oh my goodness, I could be more pumped up. And like this is incredible. And what an incredible episode. We're gonna have more episodes that are like 30 minutes long. This 15-minute long episode was just like a special. It's a Wind Tunnel special, like the special you would see on TV with the Charlie Brown special or whatnot. But man, Flying Fortress, this was great. And yes, we thank you for watching Wind Tunnel on Speed. We'll see you for our next episode. Until then, bye folks.